Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with Roseanne Sussman, who's the Chief Commercial Officer for CIE Tours International, which is really one of the largest tour operators to Ireland, also Britain, and a few other places. And we wanted to talk to Roseanne today about what's going on with CIE Tours. It's also celebrating a big anniversary, and we're going to talk about that in a second. It's a pretty significant anniversary. And you're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Roseanne, first of all, how are you and where are you?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. And I am very well. And I am here in CIE Tours US headquarters here in Morristown, New Jersey. Had we talked last week, I would have been in our Dublin office. Here in Morristown, we're responsible for all of the sales and marketing. And then we have a fabulous team over in Dublin in the UK who take care of everything from in terms of operations and making sure our guests have an amazing time on their tour. But I am back here in the States now.
That's great. I wish we had done it in Dublin. And as you can see from my background, this is mostly in celebration of you. I have the Cliffs of Moher, who is a really incredible place, which I have been to. I think this photo is from there. Might be reversed on Zoom. I'm not sure. They reverse all the photos, so I got to figure out.
No, it looks correct. It looks correct to me. The right orientation.
And I've had some wonderful tours on CIE, and we're going to talk about that a bit. But why don't you tell us a bit about CIE Tours, what it is, what tour products it offers, and what destinations?
I'd love to. So CIE is the largest Irish-owned travel company in the U.S., and we're also a subsidiary of the Irish Transportation Authority. In our core destinations, which are Ireland and the UK, we've been the market leader for 9 decades. As you mentioned, we are celebrating a big anniversary, our 90th anniversary this year. So those are our core markets, Ireland and the UK. And about 5 years ago, we expanded into Iceland and Italy.
Right.
And so we were rounding out our portfolio, having other destinations for people who have come on one of our tours, enjoyed our signature Irish hospitality, and might want to experience that in some other markets. So Iceland and Italy have been quite popular, not only with repeat guests, but it's also attracting some new customers as well.
And now you have a mix sort of, you were largely escorted at one time, but I know you do some independent travel as well, right?
Yeah. So we are absolutely known for our guided coach tours, but we have a lot more than just that. We have more than 40 carefully curated preset itineraries across those 4 destinations that I just mentioned. But then we have a limitless number of custom group, custom private driver tours. And then we have a wide range of self-drive opportunities throughout Ireland. The custom group and the custom private driver we have in Ireland, the UK, and in Iceland. But our bread and butter has for a long time been guided coach tours, but people's tastes are changing, and we've made sure that we have new product for however people want to travel.
Well, I've experienced both your motor coach tours and your private driver, and they're both wonderful. Mm-hmm. And the best thing about those tours is the driver really knows as much as anybody else about Ireland. And it's a driver on a motor coach. He a lot of times they double up as the tour guide, and obviously
right, they're driver guides, absolutely, yep.
Which is a unique combination, and they are absolutely wonderful. They really make that tour, whether you're going by yourself or with other people in a motor coach.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's not only the knowledge, but the personality and their ability to really bring the country to life for you. They are just amazing storytellers, and they, again, this is a country that they know and love, and they enjoy nothing more than introducing people to a land that they, know, love, and are incredibly proud of.
Now let's talk a little bit about you. You've been around for 90 years this year, and the company has survived recessions, revolutions, wars, and now the
pandemics.
Pandemic, what?
Oh no, I guess we weren't around for the pandemic of 1918, but almost.
No, not almost. You were pretty close, but you were around World War II, and obviously a lot
Yeah.
of other things going on. And of course, this one has been so devastating for travel and tourism. To what do you attribute CIE's longevity in the industry? How have you operated through all these things?
Yeah, I think that we've really stuck with our core tenets. We always look to navigate with integrity. We operate cautiously. The customer always comes first. I think that we've done an amazing job of continuing to evolve and change, and that we come out of the other side of whatever challenge even better prepared to grow and adapt. But again, it's having those relationships in country, really knowing our product, being a specialist. We have no desire to be a generalist and travel the world. We have the markets that we know inside and out. We have people in those markets who, again, know and love those areas. And I think that expertise and has really been something that has carried us through, and the relationships that we've established with vendors. You know, we have decades old relationships with, and some of these are family run companies where we were doing business with the parents and the grandparents, and now we're doing business with the second generation.
Absolutely. And you have people who know you well, both in the country and the travelers that you take there. Let's talk a little bit about that, how you've evolved. How, obviously after 90 years, you've seen a lot. How has CIE evolved to meet the demands of basically today's global travelers? What does the new CIE customer want? And we mentioned you offer both escorted and independent trips, but what are they looking for?
Well, it's interesting. So, if you talk about, our guests, significantly different pre-pandemic or post-pandemic, what we're seeing is they actually haven't, changed particularly. We had been seeing leading up to the pandemic that there was a greater interest in custom tours, private tours. And then when COVID hit, we thought, well, that interest might even grow. So we should have more private drive or self-drive. And we did. And we came out with significantly more product. And while there has been quite a bit of interest in that product, it's been interesting to see that at the end of the day, people really love the camaraderie of being on a guided tour. It is still our most popular offering, and people really love that experience and find that in addition to the experience of going to another country and learning about a different culture, that experience of meeting new friends, meeting people from around the country, it really adds to that experience. So while we have evolved over the years, added destinations, added product types, and people might say, oh, goodness, guided coach tours, is that still a thing?
Right.
And I'm here to tell you, it's still a thing, and people love it. I think that there's a perception that it's only for like older folks. I took a tour with a group last fall, and there was a honeymoon couple, a 40-year-old honeymoon couple on the trip who were just tickled pink. The husband shared with me that he was a little bit skeptical and, what was this going to be like having to get on and off a coach? And he thought it was just the best thing ever. He didn't have to worry about lugging his luggage, and it disappeared from the room, early in the morning, and it, reappeared at the new hotel in the evening. And so, the rumors of guided coach's demise are greatly exaggerated. It is still here to stay, and it's a very, very popular way to travel for a wide variety of people. Again, it's, younger folks, older folks, families, multi-generational families.
Right.
We see a lot of mothers traveling with their adult daughters, grandparents taking their grandkids on tours. So it's a great way to travel, and it's a great way to see the country.
No, I totally agree. And I've done your tour, and I've done other motor coach tours. I mean, there was a time a few years ago where if you were, at a U.S. Tour Operators Association meeting, everybody wanted to get away from that word tour, and everybody wanted to get away from that motor coach or / bus tour. But I think you're right. I think there are people who do want to seek that out, and you do have a wide variety of different types of clients that like it. And so the motor coach is not dead. And in fact,
That's our headline.
and right, that's a good line. And the pandemic hasn't killed it either, as you just mentioned. That they still want that. We all thought they'd all want private. Maybe they do want smaller
to be in their own little bubble. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Bubble tours, as we say. That's the other one.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how it's evolved, because I was going to ask you, how has the pandemic changed it? But as you said, it really hasn't changed that all that much. Let's talk a little bit about, with the global pandemic end in sight, we hope. I think we're down the home stretch, although we've had some other issues lately with the war in Ukraine and things like that we hope are not going to affect travel to Europe. Has CIE Tours seen an uptick in interest for travel to Europe so far? And what destinations are the most popular? I assume you're going to tell me Ireland. I know we're out of way, but that's
Yeah. Well, so towards the end of January, we really kind of saw a shift and an uptick. There was a lot of good news coming out of the U.S. about the pandemic restrictions ending. Some great news coming out of Ireland. So we really saw that uptick. Then the recent news, now Ireland has completely eliminated all restrictions. All you need is a passport to get in, just like pre-pandemic. No passenger locator forms, no tests. The only test you need is to come back home. Iceland is the same. Actually, the UK and Italy are our only markets that have any type of entry requirements at this point.
Right.
But so that news really buoyed things. But then, we barely had kind of been, counting a couple of our little chicks. And then the news came out in Eastern Europe. And while it's kind of given some customers pause, we are still seeing interest in quotes and bookings in a relatively robust way. And I think people are, kind of wondering, what if I book, and then later if something happens, what's the situation. But in general, I think that, and it's such an overused phrase now, but there's such pent up demand. People are so tired of being cooped up that they just really, really want to travel.
Absolutely. And you're absolutely right, I think. And I think so far, so good. And I think Ireland, and the perception of Ireland, at least, is that you're kind of like this isolated green little island that's far away from a lot of other places.
Right. We're surrounded by a moat.
You are surrounded by a moat, and who wants to attack Ireland anyway? So this is maybe the old days, the English, but that's another story. This is long ago, so we don't have to worry about it so much anymore. Now, and one of the things you forgot is that there is the test. You have to drink a pint of Guinness before you return. I think.
There you go.
That's kind of like a little booster shot, so that's what we're going to do. Now let's talk a little bit about, as a subsidiary of the Irish government, you actually were very close to the information and decisions on reopening the country. You had a hand in it, right? And that's why we're now where we are today, where Ireland is open.
Well, we would love to take credit for that. And while we are a proud subsidiary of the Irish Transport Authority, we don't have any insider track on information. But we do have, years of close connections, including the fact that our financial controller was just inducted as the president of the Incoming Tour Operators Association for Ireland. So, we do have close connections. We were getting heads up about news that might be breaking soon, but I'd like to think that we had something to do with the changes but we are just recipients of that news like anyone else.
Well, so, I'm going to give you credit anyway, so take it.
Excellent.
That's it. You guys did it. All right. And you brought Ireland back, and now we can all go. So, and we can all go on a CIE tour. So that's what we should do. Now,
exactly. Yeah.
Now, as a company that sells really primarily through travel advisors here, what have advisors been asking for, and how has CIE Tours responded? And also, how easy is it to work with CIE?
What travel advisors are looking for is frankly not that dissimilar from what our travelers are looking for. They want accurate, up-to-date information on, what's required to go, what is the experience you're going to be like, are attractions open, will I have to wear a mask? They want somebody who has expertise to provide that reassurance and guidance. They want help navigating any of those requirements that are in place at the time. So, for example, we help facilitate the testing to return to the United States. Right. So they want that somebody to help hold their hand and help them navigate that. And they're also looking for a certain amount of flexibility. And I know that we're not alone in this, having some booking flexibility for our 2022 departures to give people peace of mind that they can go ahead and book. So we keep our website up to date literally as things change. We just changed it over the weekend when Ireland opened up. Sure. So they know that they have that resource there, that at any given moment. And also what we do is we've given the Cliffs Notes version. We write it in a way that's very easy to understand. You don't have to kind of navigate all these government pages. So I think that they're coming to us for expertise, reassurance, flexibility, and that's on top of everything else that they've come to us before, which is, great curated itineraries, the guides who you talked about, really knowledgeable guides. And, and part of our value proposition, even though people have been able to save a little more money and they're not spending money on renovating their house and they're spending money on travel, people still want a good value.
Sure.
And the all-inclusive advantage that we have, where there are no surprises and everything is included, most meals, all attractions, there are no surprises. Right. And I think travel agents and their guests like that. There's no upsell. The guides are focused on taking you on the tour. They're not, trying to say, hey, who's interested in going to the dinner tonight with the entertainment? And that will be another, 110 euros. And the other benefit to the travel agent in that, so it's not only that their guest gets to kind of sit back and relax and feel like everything's paid for and they're not being nickeled and dimed, but also the travel agent is getting the commission on the full booking.
Sure.
They'd be missing out on the commission of any of those upsells that happens on tour. So it's great from a customer perspective because it's that all-in pricing with no surprises. And it's great for the travel agent because they are getting the maximum amount of commissions they can get. They're not losing out on those things that are sold on the tour itself.
Absolutely. And that is key. And you can make money selling a wonderful product. Now, do you have programs for travel advisors to get them to sell more CIE? Are there some training and education programs that they can have access to?
Yeah, we do. So we have a travel agent portal. People can get certified to be a CIE Tours specialist. So there's a lot of self-serve opportunities. We also have our BDMs out in the field who are there to answer any questions. They do webinars not only for the agents, but they also do webinars for agents' customers if required. So we try to put, as I said, a lot of self-serve. We give them content that they can repurpose in their marketing, in their social media channels. We do a lot of group and custom group activities. And when we do, we provide the agents with marketing materials so that they can go out and market that. And, we're really just here to do business with the agents in whatever way they would like to do business with us. So they can call our contact center. They can, and I'll admit, we've been having some long hold times like many of our competitors, but we do a great job with online chat. They can send an email. They can self-serve and make their own booking 24/7 on our website.
Right.
So however they want to do business with us, we are happy to put their customers in touch with the trip of their dreams.
Well, I do know some advisors still like to call the folks at CIE because they know so much about Ireland. You said yes. the driver guides know so much, but a lot of your reservation, the people you call for it's at CIE, and they know as much, if not more. And it's amazing because they do have that knowledge, and a lot of travel advisors really appreciate that, as do their clients. Let's talk a little bit, just kind of to close it out. I said it earlier, but what is really selling this year? What's the most popular stuff you got, both to Ireland and maybe some of your other destinations?
Yeah. So as the leader in Irish tours, Ireland is always our bestseller. But what we've seen, and really it's been over the past 2 years, that Scotland, so either Scotland alone or combo tours with Scotland and Ireland, are really seeing a resurgence. My personal theory is it's the Outlander effect. And people got to watch Outlander during the pandemic. It was no longer on Stars; it was on Netflix. But that's my personal theory. I'm not quite sure. Men in Kilts, Outlander. I think people are just captivated by Scotland. So yeah, we are seeing an increased interest in Scotland. Iceland is also become I was going to say it's a hot market, but clearly it's not hot there, but it's become a hot destination. And also Iceland was our first destination to reopen. So that was the first tour we had, was at the end of June of 2021. And we rejoiced when we got back out on the road. And our Italy product as well, but it really comes Ireland number one. And then Scotland is a close second. People are fascinated with it. So.
Well, I am of Scottish heritage, so I can surely understand that. I love Scotland, but I have a new appreciation for Ireland as well when I finally got there. I resisted for a while, because a good Scot doesn't go to Ireland. So but then I said, okay, I agree. It's a beautiful green country. It's, it was green before its time, put it that way, in terms of sustainability things. So
well, and as I mentioned earlier that I was in Ireland last week, and I have to say that with the restrictions lifted, I had to wear my mask on the plane and in the airport. And in fact, I think I just heard that the CDC is going to extend that through April 18th. I think I just read.
Yeah.
But other than that, once I got to Ireland, it almost felt like pre-pandemic. It was just delightful. Everything was open. You saw some people wearing masks, but it was voluntary. It wasn't mandatory. All the pubs and restaurants are open. Everyone is just so excited to see U.S. customers coming back, and they're just such a gracious and friendly people, and are, as I said, just tickled to see tourism come back to Ireland.
No, absolutely. It is a wonderful country, great castles, great beer, great Irish whiskey. I seem to be getting into drinks phase here. It's almost cocktail hour, as we say. But now let's close this out. Is there anything else you want to say? We go out to 100,000 travel advisors now. Anything else you'd like to say to them about CIE Tours? Its 90th anniversary. Anything else going on?
So we have our 90th anniversary going on right now because this is our month. It is St. Patrick's Day is next week. It's Irish American Heritage Month. So we have a Ireland airfare sale, airfare from $399 per person. We also have a group special going on right now, which is an $800 booking bonus for 2023 groups. Speaking of 2023, although we're only here in March of 2022, our 2023 product is available. It is available both online and at the call center. So anyone who is interested, what we're finding is there are some people who we talked earlier who just have ants in their pants and they've got to go and they want to go this year.
Right.
But there's, the other side of that booking window is that there's other people who are, being a little more cautious,
sure.
but they want to have something to look forward to. So we wanted to be prepared and have we have all of our 2023 inventory, not just part of the year, available to book now. So our groups team has a booking bonus. And the other thing we just like to say is that, the past 2 years have been tough on everyone, not just the travel industry, clearly. But we'd really like to thank our travel partners for being patient and understanding and supportive. It's been, challenging. We've had to have, hard conversations. There's people who their trip might have been, canceled and rescheduled multiple times. So we're so appreciative of the travel agents' business. They really are our lifeblood, as evidenced by the fact that, for our niche market, we are preferred with all major consortia. So
right.
we the travel agents are have a great long-standing relationship, but we're just very, very appreciative for that partnership. And we look forward to a long time of continuing to make their customers happy and, again, have those vacations that they've dreamed of. And for some people, this might be a once in a lifetime bucket list trip.
Sure.
We want to make sure that whether they travel 10 times or they're only traveling once, that every trip with us is just a spectacular and memorable experience.
Absolutely. And my trip with you, both times I've been on CIE Tours, had an incredibly memorable experience. So I can attest to it. Where can travel advisors go to learn more about CIE Tours and its programs?
Well, our website is a great resource, www.cietours.com. Travel agents also have that next layer of logging in and accessing the travel agent portal. We encourage you to follow us on social media. We advertise all of our specials there. And if they haven't already, to also sign up for our travel agent emails. That helps them stay up to the minute on all of the offers. We're doing a real push on some last minute deals, which are some great values for their clients. And so we are on an ongoing basis refreshing the list of those last minute specials that are coming out. So for those people who really just, can't wait to get out there and they got their passport and they're ready to go, we have some really great deals out there. But again, website, email, social media, and our travel agent portal. And when in doubt, if a travel agent has a question, our team of BDMs are some of the best in the business. They've been doing this for a long time, and they are great resources for any types of questions that an agent may have.
Well, Roseanne, I want to thank you for filling us in on what's going on with CIE Tours today. Obviously, it's good news so far. It's looking good as we emerge from the pandemic. And again, you guys have some amazing products. And congratulations on 90 years. And let's hear it for the next 90 years.
Exactly. Well, James, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.